Hello everyone! So today is Jake Gyllenhaal's birthday, and in honor of that, I'm going to do a two-part series on two of his movies. This episode is about Zodiac, while the next episode is going to be about Enemy. If you're interested in that one, it's coming up, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. I was actually going to do Enemy first, but given the recent developments around the Zodiac case, I felt like it was important to cover this first, both because it's a trending topic that helps my video get seen, but also because there's a few things that we need to talk about when it comes to the new forensic evidence and whether or not it changes how we might view the Zodiac movie. In case you haven't heard, there's this independent organization who breaks cold cases, and they are called, the Case Breakers. Wow, okay, pretty on the nose with that one. I would have gone with Icebreakers personally because, you know, it's cold, and so is ice. It's a pun. Anyway, their forensic evidence seems to point to this new guy named Gary Poste, with an E at the end of it, as being the most likely culprit, which would acquit Arthur Lee Allen, and Allen is the suspect that the movie pretty overtly suggests was the killer. Now, before I start pontificating, I also want to mention that I am no criminologist, and there seems to be a lot of people over the last 2 years on the internet who are. In fact, a lot of them also seem to be experts on not only criminology, but immunology and the conflict in Afghanistan, so be ready for the comments to blow up with 100% objective and well-versed opinions on this topic. Because as we all know, the internet is a really democratized space where we have access to the most seasoned experts in every field. That's sarcasm, by the way. My point here is that you can't trust everything you hear online, and in a world where information moves fast, a lot of people stop at the headline and take things at face value. Like, I bet very few of you even stopped to fact check the fact that it's not actually Jake Gyllenhaal's birthday today. That's December 19th. Unless you're watching this on December 19th, then today is his birthday. See, you thought you could trust me and the smart things that I say, but it's all bullshit. And on so many levels, this video in itself that I'm making right now really is playing into the need for trending news to captivate an audience and give scale to a platform for the sake of monetization. I was thinking of doing a Zodiac video already, but now that it's a hot topic again, and it's in the news, there's never been a better time to leverage our collective attention on the topic or views to help me earn money from YouTube so I can pay for my baby's daycare. Speaking of, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. In short, headlines bring in ad revenue, so you have to be skeptical of what's on the surface. And that's an eerily relevant statement that I think gives Zodiac the film new significance, but we'll get there. I did all of like 20 minutes of research into the Case Breakers' assertion that Poste was the Zodiac Killer, and it's based on a very loose interpretation of the word forensic. Forensics, as we've collectively come to understand it, is basically scientifically backed evidence like DNA, fingerprints, or semen.
When I first joined the force, I assumed there was semen on everything
that conclusively links a person to a crime. And it's the misleading use of that word that plays into your unconscious understanding of forensic to make this seem conclusive. But the evidence in this case isn't the envelope seal or a hair follicle or a fingerprint or a drop of sperm.
Everything is covered in semen.
It's that this guy here has the same scar as the sketch artist rendition of the killer that I'm pretty confident has always just been wrinkles, but you'd have to fact check me on that because, like, I don't know shit. They're also saying that the name Gary Francis Poste is an anagram to a key that decodes a message that got decoded a couple years ago already, and like his name is the key if you rearrange the letters and use them as a codex. But that name has 16 unique characters in it. Just kidding, it has 13 unique characters. Come on now, what did I say? Don't assume everything that I say is true. But seriously, it does have 13 unique characters in it, and I'm no code breaker, but that seems like a lot of material to work with. Straight up, that's half the alphabet. If you want to decipher a code and have half the alphabet to work with, you can kind of make any arrangement of letters work in favor of your hypothesis, especially if they don't have to be in sequential order. Another thing is this organization has claimed to have cracked like who DB Cooper is, and it's still not confirmed. And finally, there's the fact that this organization didn't go to the police with this information. They went straight to TMZ and Fox with the news. But Mr. Media Matters guy, what does that have to do with the movie? You may be asking yourself. Well, let me tell you what I think, knowing full well that I'm just some dude who made a video with no credentials that I'm posting on the internet. This new Zodiac news that's making the rounds doesn't seem to me like crime solving. This seems like a publicity stunt that plays into our collective obsession with modern unsolved mysteries. And those mysteries have an almost mythic status and pander to our needs for answers to questions that have permeated pop culture for half a century. And the film Zodiac is a cautionary tale against just that. You see, the movie does act as an analysis of real data, and it highlights the flaws in the way criminal investigations are conducted because politics and bureaucracy get in the way of truth. And it does this, at least on the surface level, and suggests certain conclusions because it's based on a book written by Jake Gyllenhaal's character Robert Graysmith, who literally gave his life to this case. But what I like about movies, more so than books, is that the acting, the sound design, and the imagery can all tell a different story than the words on the page. And in the case of Zodiac, the film adds a subtext on top of its source material through all of those parts that comments on collective obsession and the exploitation of it by those we trust to be experts. In short, experts are humans too, and they sometimes make mistakes, but they're expected to be right. So under the pressure, they make assertions that may not be fully fleshed out. At one point in the film, when the case is hot and it's making the rounds across media, there are a lot of characters who get career boosts. Politicians use it to get elected, police departments use it to gain notoriety and funding, and there's this intentional overlooking of facts for the sake of the story. And the media sensationalizes anything with the word Zodiac in it because it gains viewership. Hell, a TV broadcast network leverages a phone call that could for all intents and purposes be fake in order to get people to tune in. The only people in this movie who actually care about truth end up losing their friends, their family, their careers, and in some cases their sanity, trying to find truth in the sea of falseness that has been strummed up by those who would use the killings for selfish or ulterior motives. In the end, the people who succeed are those who lied, exploited, and manipulated information in the same way that the Zodiac manipulated language and familiar symbols to mislead the police and obscure truth for fame and notoriety. It's not an attack on truth per se, but rather a negligent use of it in spite of it. Zodiac matters for two reasons. The first reason is that Minkus gets shot, but the second reason is that it's really not about finding the killer. Yes, one is suggested to us as it is in the book, but the movie takes care to still leave us feeling uncertain. What the Zodiac movie really does, though, in lieu of offer answers, is reveal how journalism, politics, and media aren't in it to give us truth. They're in it to drive intrigue and consumption, regardless of how much of it is bullshit. It's a journalism film about the failures of journalism, and it demonstrates to us how, despite lack of evidence or meaningful truth, our media-obsessed world is quick to make conclusions, and then move on to the next hot topic, because it's been designed to function that way. Truth is not as meaningful as the power of sensationalism, and fact gets reworded to engage the greatest number of readers and viewers. You have to take care to read beyond the headline, because oftentimes the truth lies beneath the surface. But fuck it, who's got time for truth anyway? Now like and sub for Sensationalist Algorithm, please. Alright, thank you for watching this episode of Media Matters. Like I said, coming up soon, hopefully next week, but got a lot of things going on. We're gonna do another episode on another Jake Gyllenhaal movie called Enemy. I've also got a fan request that's coming up. It's Moral Oral. I haven't seen it. I'm in the process of trying to get through it. It's a hard watch, but there's a lot of meaning under the surface. So if there's another movie or show that you're interested in me covering, leave it in the comments below, and I'll make sure to add it to my list. Thanks again. Talk to you guys soon.